Welcome back. If this is your first time here on this channel and you experience any kind of issues with playback, please check out the link in the description to my mirrored account on BitChute.com, redpill_McKenzie. Now, today's video, we're picking up where we left off. We're now in week 3 of November 2018 with the high-level resignations. Talking CEOs, CFOs, COOs, heads of state, police chiefs, you name it. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it's a new week until we catch up, and it's been coming in hot. But anyway, where do I get the names from? I get them from a site called resignation.info, maintained by Resignation Anon. And despite the meme I just showed you, there are actually a lot of good people on this list. Not everyone on this list is a bad person, even though there's been quite a few. But even still, not everyone's going to be indicted. Go ahead, check out the link to the indictments if that's something you haven't seen yet. There's also a little feature while you're hanging out on that site where you can report resignations. Anything that's not on the list since September 2017, or if it's just brand new, that's pretty easy, right? Go ahead, put the link in that news article in there, submit it. Once it's been verified, it'll be added to the list. Now get this, if it's new and it's notable, chances are you're going to see it on the next resignation show. It's every other Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. German time, with the next show being on April 14th, and it's hosted on a channel called In Real Life News. I'll put the link to their channel in the description. That way you can link up with them. Or if you're hanging on it on the site already, you can go to Resignation Show Feature and boom, In Real Life News. There they are. And also any of the episodes you may have missed along the way. But now that that's been taken care of and our bases have been covered, let's get to the list. We have the Brexit Secretary to the British government, UK, Dominic Raab, resigned over Theresa May's draft Brexit deal. And now these next few that are coming up are also from the British government. They're all resigning for the same reasons. He was replaced by Steve Barclay. We have the Minister for Work and Pensions, Esther McVey. She was replaced by Amber Rudd. We have the Junior Brexit Minister, Suella Braverman. Doesn't say who she was replaced by. And we have the Junior Northern Ireland Minister, Shailesh Vora. Same deal. Doesn't say who he was replaced by. But all those, same reason, resigned over Theresa May's draft Brexit deal. Now, we've got the Director of Legislative Affairs to the UK, Nikki DaCosta. We have the CEO to REA Group Limited in Australia, Tracy Fellows. We have the CEO to Patissieri Valieri in the UK, Paul May, resigned and was replaced by Stephen Francis. We have the CEO to Suncor Energy Inc. in Canada, Steve Williams, retired. We have an administrator to Billings City in Montana, Bruce McCandless, retired. We have the CEO to Mass Challenge Inc. in the U.S., John Hawthorne. We have the parliamentary private secretary to the Ministry of Justice in the UK, Ranil J., resigned, telling the Prime Minister that her EU withdrawal agreement does not deliver a good and fair Brexit. So sounds like the same reasons as the other ones. And we have the Vice Chairman to the Conservative Party in the UK, Raymond Chisty. Also, over the Brexit deal, we have the CEO to Rugby Football Union in the UK, Steve Brown. We have the CEO to Google Cloud Platform in the US, Diane Green, resigned and was replaced by Thomas Kurian. We have the CEO to the Care Workers Charity in the UK, Alex R. It's like banana. Too many nananas in there. Anyway, we have the CEO to the ATP Real Estate in Denmark, Michael Nielsen, resigned and was replaced by Martin Van Hansen. We have the CEO and President of Filson Historical Society in the U.S., Craig Buthode, retired. We have the CEO and Director to Telecom Malaysia in Malaysia, Datuk Bazlan Osman, resigned and was replaced by Imri Mokhtar in the CEO position. We have a chairman to the United States Senate Committee on the Judiciary in the U.S., Chuck Grassley, resigned and went off to be chairman at the Senate Finance Committee. We have the Deputy Prime Minister to the Bulgarian government, Bulgaria, Valery Simeonov. We have the Entertainment Executive to the American Broadcasting Company, also known as ABC in the U.S., Channing Dungey. We have the CEO to Myntra in India. Myntra was bought by Flipkart back in May 2014, and I guess this is the endings of it. We have the CFO also to the same company for the same reason. We have the COO to the USA Gymnastics in the U.S., Ron Gallimore. We have the CEO to Lau Ola in the U.S., Richard Ha. We have the president to Lippert Components Inc. in the U.S., Scott Marinez. We have Chief to Red Bank Police Department in New Jersey, Robert Simpson, retired. We have the Chief to South Lyon Police Department in Michigan, Lloyd Collins, retired. We have the Under Sheriff to St. Clair County Sheriff Department in Michigan, Tom Buckley, retired. We have the Chief Watchdog to New York City, New York, Mark G. Peters, fired. We have the Chief Information Officer to Salt Lake City in Utah, Gregory Daly, fired over, quote, offensive behavior, end quote, related to sex and religion. We have a judge to Iowa Supreme Court in the U.S., Daryl Haight, had resigned due to having cancer. We have revenue director and the gaming director to Arizona in the U.S., David Bryant and Dan Bergen, both retired. We have the deputy chief to Brookhaven Police Department in Georgia, Juan Grulon, resigned after sexual harassment allegations. We have the CEO to J. Crew Group Inc. in the U.S., James Brett. The senior director for Gulf of Affairs to the White House in the U.S., Kirsten Fontaine-Rose. She resigned and she was responsible for American policy towards Saudi Arabia. That's just a side note. We have the finance secretary to the Indian government, India, of course, Hasmukh Adya, retired and was replaced by Ajay Bhushan Pandey. We have the elections chief to Broward County in Florida, Brenda Snipes. I believe that was over the whole controversy going on with the recount. We have the member to Knesset in Israel, Jackie Levy. We have the CEO to MSkip in Iceland, GS. As of January 1st in 2019, he will manage MSkip's operation in the U.S. and Canada, along with the freight forwarding company MSkip Logistics. So no longer the CEO, but still working for the company in other positions. We have the chairman and the vice chairman, two different people to the Democratic Party in Maine, Phil Barlett and Peggy Schaefer. Their term ended for both of them. We have the CMO to J. Crew Group Inc. in the U.S., Vanessa Holden. We have the CEO to Compass Minerals International Inc. in the U.S., Fran Maleka. We have the CEO to Peneen Acute Hospital Trust in the UK, David Dalton, retired. And he was also the CEO to Salford Royal Foundation Trust. Same deal, retired here. We have the CEO to Steinhoff International in South Africa, Denis van der Moray. Anyway, we have the CEO to Petrobras in Brazil, Ivan Monteiro. We have the CEO to Reading FC in the UK, Ron Gourlay. We have the defense minister to the Romanian government, Romania, Mihai Fifor, resigned before the ruling party meeting on the government reshuffle. We have the transport minister, Lucian Sova, again to the Romanian government. He was actually fired in the government reshuffle. And same deal here with the communication minister, fired, Maurice Bostan. Also fired was the development minister, Augustin Gianu, and the minister of culture, Lucian Ramascanu, and finally the sports minister, Roxana Marișanu. We also have the mayor to Bucharest in Romania, Gabriela Fieria, the deputy attorney general to Alabama in the U.S., Matt Hart, the chairman to Nissan Motor Company in Japan, Carlos Ghosn. He was fired and was arrested after an internal probe found that he underreported his salary and for other financial violations unrelated. Also including the personal use of company assets, that was something else he did, and the firm, and also towards the firm and the Japanese state. So lots going on there, it seems. We have the CEO to Thin Film Electronics ASA in Norway, Devar P. Sutija, resigned and was replaced by Kevin Barber. We have the deputy to Goochland Sheriff's Office in Virginia, Jason Anderson, fired and had been arrested and charged with rape and assault and battery of a family member. We have director to American Civil Liberties Union, the ACLU, in Florida, Howard Simon, retired. We have a board member to Gurrit Holding AG in Switzerland, Peter Pauly. We have the board member to Yes Bank in India, RC. We have the regional administrator to Environmental Protection Agency, also known as the EPA, to the U.S., Onus Trey Glenn III, resigned after being indicted on ethics charges in Alabama that week. We have the CEO, President, and Director, all one person, to Canafarmix Inc. in the U.S. We have the CEO and President to Members Trust Company in the U.S., Tom Walker, retired. We have the CEO and President to Northern Credit Union in the U.S., Al Sirachi, retired. We have the CEO, President, and Director, all one person, to QCR Holdings Inc. in the U.S., Douglas M. Holtquist, retired. We have the CEO to Cove Care Center in the U.S., Diane E. Russo, retired. We have the VP to AIB International in the U.S., Brian Strauss, retired. We have the Governor to Central Bank in Moldova, Sergiu Chioclea, resigned and is replaced by Octavian Armasiu. We have the Interior Minister to the Estonian government, Estonia, Andres Anvelt, resigned due to health reasons. We have the CEO to Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency in the UK, Ian Hudson. We have the CEO to United States Geospatial Intelligence Foundation, also known as the USGS. Wait, no, sorry, no, got that confused with something else. Anyway, Keith J. Masbach, retired. Ignore the acronym. We have the Environment Chief to the United Nations in Switzerland, Eric Solheim, resigned following severe criticism of his global travels and internal rule breaking, which led some nations to withhold their funding. We have the Captain and the Sergeant to Broward Sheriff's Office in Florida, Jan Jordan, the Captain, and Brian Miller, the Sergeant. The Captain oversaw the initial response to February 2018 Parkland massacre, and the Sergeant was suspended. We have the CEO, President, and Director, all one person, to Lexmark International Inc. in the U.S., Richard J. Gurrison. We have the CEO to Prime Therapeutics in the U.S., Jim Ducharme, retired. We have the CEO to Petroneft Resources in Ireland, Dennis Francis, retired. We have the CEO to Timon in the UK, Louis Espargesi, retired. We have a Director to Idaho Department of Correction in the U.S., Henry Atencio, retired. We have a Councilman to Grantville in Pennsylvania, Willie Key. We have the CEO to Northern Beaches Hospital in Australia, Deborah Latta. We have the Chairman to Free TV in Australia, Harold Mitchell, resigned amid allegations of withholding information from the Tennis Australia Board. We have the CEO to RTL Germany, RTL Group in Luxembourg, Anke S. We have the CEO to SSP Group PLC in the UK, Kate Swan, resigned and is replaced by Simon Smith. We have the CEO to Interwetten in Malta, Werner Betcher. We have the President to Follett LLC in the U.S., Steve Follett, retired. We have the CEO and CTO, just one person, to Square One in the U.S., Keith Canirio, died at the age of 50. He was found shot dead. We have the State Housing, Fire, and Emergencies Services Minister to the Indian government, Sovan Chatterjee. We have the President to Gate Group Holdings AG in Switzerland, Michael Imriat. We have the spokesperson to Israel, David Keyes, resigned after sexual misconduct probe closed. He is also Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's. Wait, never mind. It just says he is Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's international media spokesman. So yeah, to Israel. We have the CEO and General Manager to Petit Jean Electric Cooperative in the U.S., Bill Conine, retired. We have the City Manager to Palm Bay City in Florida, Greg Link, fired. We have the Assistant City Manager to Gainesville in Florida, Fred Murray. We have the President and these two board members to Marion County Community Economic Development Corporation in Kansas. We have the City Manager to Burke Burnett in Texas, Mike Whaley, fired. We have the CEO and the CFO to Antelope Valley Hospital in California. We have the General Manager to Stratford and District Chamber of Commerce in Ontario, Brad Beatty. We have the Chairman and Director to WI2WI Corporation in the U.S., Michael Sonnereich. And we have the advisor to the British government in the UK, James Starkey. He also resigned over Theresa May's Brexit deal. But anyway, that's it for now. Don't forget, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it's a new week until we catch up. And of course, in real life news to catch the next Resignation show, April 14th. Mark your calendars. And as always, if you like my content, Go ahead, please share, because sharing's caring. And if you haven't already yet, go ahead, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell for notifications, so that way YouTube has no choice in what kind of content of mine you get to see. Hope you enjoyed it. I love you all. God bless you all. This is Red Pill McKenzie.